Wonderful. Thank you. Hi, everyone. So we are going to get started. I'll respect your time for sure. Welcome. This is the Altomari Entrepreneurship Summer Camp for Girls. This is our second annual summer camp, but the first time that we have gone virtual. And in the midst of COVID-19, we wanted to prove that entrepreneurs are resilient and that we can make magic happen when we need to. So we are online. We're having a great time together. And I just want to thank all the family, friends, colleagues, everyone that's here today. So please give yourselves a round of applause or use our reactions function to clap. So thank you so much for being here. My name is Roger Lee, and I am a program manager, entrepreneur in residence, and adjunct professor at Drexel University's Charles C. Close School of Entrepreneurship. And one of my duties is to design and run our entrepreneurship summer camps. And this is our second time doing the Altomari Entrepreneurship Summer Camp for Girls. And it's always a memorable, powerful experience. It's really one of my favorite things. So I would like to start by thanking Mr. Altomari himself, who is on this call. Thank you for your generosity and your leadership. I would also love to thank our founding dean, Donna D. Carolus. Thank you so much for all that you do for your leadership, for being here for these ladies and I. And again, to all of my colleagues, family, friends, professors, thank you, thank you, thank you. We cannot do this without you. But today is all about our stars. They're our rising stars, they're our future. We have 18 incredible entrepreneurs in this room. These ladies span the ages of 14 to 18. They are in grades 9 through 12, and they represent many schools and organizations. And I had the pleasure of working with them all week long. Ever since Monday, we have been convening here on Zoom in this exact room from 1 to 4 p.m. In the beginning, I do a venture creation lab where I essentially mentor and help the ladies ideate to come up with their own entrepreneurial ventures. And to no surprise, we have 4 out of 5 ventures that are nonprofit. So this proves that we have some social entrepreneurs in our midst. Then from 2:30 to 4 o'clock, I was proud to introduce our female entrepreneurship speakers. And what we do is a speaker series where the ladies come in and inspire our young entrepreneurs. And we have Ms. Cheryl Ann Wadlington, who is the founder of Evaluator Image Consultants. She also was honored by President Barack Obama's administration. We had Janae Chiddick Aguilera. She is the founder of Motivos Magazine, a bilingual magazine. And she did a great job. She's dealing with some family issues right now, but she was here. The ladies learned a lot from her and they really were compelled by her story. We also moved on to Miss Allison Altomari, who is the daughter of Al Altomari. And the ladies and I had a great time hearing about Allison's story and learning that it's okay to pivot. It's okay to make some changes. And it's okay to be yourself. So we really appreciated all that we learned from her. And then yesterday we closed out the series with Miss Valerie Gay. And Miss Valerie was our keynote speaker at the Women's Empowerment Summit, which happened just days before the world shut down due to COVID-19. So it was wonderful having her in this virtual context. And she's an opera singer by education and a nonprofit administrator and a serial entrepreneur. She runs about 6 ventures and still does a full-time job at the Barnes Foundation. So her whole message was, to be a female entrepreneur is to be empowered, to be an example, and to wear many hats and to be proud of that. So that's some of what we did this week. Would any of our ladies like to talk about their experience with camp?
I can talk about my experience with camp a little bit.
Sure.
So in the future, I definitely do want to open up my own nonprofit that will cater to kids of color with mental health issues. And so this was very helpful just because even though I love to talk about what I want to do, I've never actually thought through it. So each day we've learned something different about planning a business, and it's actually been really helpful. Like every day after class, I'll go to my mom and I'm like, wait, I just had a brand new idea for my nonprofit. And talking to Cheryl Ann Waddington was also very helpful because she did give me a few ideas to kickstart my business and different aspects to look at it. And it was very helpful. So I've had a really good time with this camp. It's been really informative.
Thank you, Damani. Not to put anyone on the spot, but Bianca Rodriguez, her brother is actually a 5th-year student at Drexel University, so she has all the connections here. And I just want to know what you thought about our camp, Bianca.
I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was very beneficial because I know I want to major in business and entrepreneurship. I didn't really know what that entails of until now. And this got me thinking, because I was always creating businesses when I was younger. Like I had a fashion business, a cafe, but I was doing some of this there, but now I finally get like the rundown and I can start to develop business plans that I hope to become like a reality. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing. And how about Ella? And you had some thoughts earlier and I wanted you to be able to expound on them.
I loved the camp. I think it was awesome. I loved hearing the speakers because they all came from completely different backgrounds and they all did completely different things. And that was really inspiring. They also all talked about having like self-doubts or like roadblockers, people who didn't believe in them or not believing in themselves. And I think that's a struggle that all of us go through. So that was another thing that really helped me in this camp.
Well, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Ella. So this is just, an intro to what we've experienced all week. It really has been powerful. So without further ado, I would love to jump into our pitch presentations. But also, really quickly, I do want to thank, of course, everyone, but a special thank you to Mr. Antonis and Miss Debbie. We couldn't do this without you, so thank you for helping to moderate the room and make sure that our guests are all in and comfortable. So what we're going to do now is move right into our venture pitch presentations. And this is not a pitch competition, right? We do that during Rising Starters, but this is actually a presentation day for the ladies to share what they created with me over the course of a week. Now I asked the ladies to come up with their own ideas individually. And as they presented them, I took notes on the different themes that emerged. And there were 5 common themes that came up. So each group was placed together based off of their common interests. So you will hear from all 5 today. And we are supposed to be their potential funders. So let's have a Shark Tank feel. So our first group will be Healthbound, which is Aida, Damani, and Paige.
Hi, my name is Paige Oakes. I'm 14 years old. I'm a rising sophomore and I go to New McGrady High School.
Hello, my name is Damani Samuels. I'm 17 and I'm a rising senior at Germantown Friends School.
Hello, my name is Ida Hiley. I am 15 years old and I'm a rising sophomore at the Baldwin School. First, we have Paige who will be discussing our venture overview.
So the problem we're facing is that the Affordable Healthcare Act excludes undocumented immigrants from purchasing healthcare, and homeless people also can't afford it. This is targeted towards homeless people and families and also undocumented immigrants who can't afford healthcare. We decided to name this service Healthbound because what we're doing in the service is traveling to the set audience we're targeting when they need care for a more affordable price. In other words, they can receive healthcare at discounted rates. This includes regular checkups, emergencies if needed, and access to medicine. Overall, Healthbound was made to provide the best health service to undocumented and homeless families. This is important to me because over the past years, where this has been a problem, not much has been done to provide what really needs to be provided. So I think making this service could really make a difference and solve this problem.
So for our service, we have a managerial structure. Our structure contains of 7 members, which will be the CEOs, physicians, healthcare consultant, nurse, driver, social media marketing coordinator, and the public relations manager. The CEO will be my 3 members, me, Paige, and Damani, who will be making the executive decisions for the benefit of our organization. Next, we'll have a physician who will be there to help with more emergent appointments with our patients and give them the best possible care. There will also be we will also assist with nurses and healthcare consultant with medical advices. With that, we have our healthcare consultant, who will be Paige, who has a huge interest for the medical field and was a great contribution as a consultant. She will help with less emergent situations like checkup or minor exams. Next on the list is the nurse, who will be there to assist the physician and healthcare consultant to help with medicine or other things like in the sort. Our managerial plan also consists of the driver of our van, who will adjust to our schedule for numerous locations for our target audience appointments. For the more on the marketing and promotion side, we'll have the social media marketing coordinator, which will be yours truly. I will be helping making sure our social media platforms are up to date and our website and hotline numbers that will be available 24/7. Finally, we have Damani, who will be our public relations manager that will promote our business through our demographics, which will be in person, like fundraisers and fairs that will cause more attention. While all of our members of our structure will have different positions, each Each of these members help confidently success our mission statement. Next, we have Damani discussing our business plan and strategy.
Yes, so before I talk about that, I would just like to talk about why this project is very important for me. I actually personally know someone who used to be an undocumented immigrant, and I also know someone who used to be homeless. And basically, the man who used to be an undocumented immigrant, he came here when he was around 14 or 15 during the Nicaraguan Revolution. And even though he's been living here for the majority of his life, he's made a family, he pays taxes, he was not allowed to purchase health care because he did not have a visa, and that is a long and painstaking process. And the person who was formerly homeless was also not able to purchase health care, and even though she luckily was able to get an apartment about a month ago, she still cannot afford health care. And so I remember there would be a lot of times when she would not feel well, and she would, if she could afford it, she would purchase over-the-counter antibiotics and kind of just hope for the best. And that's why it's very important for me, just because I feel like healthcare is such a basic human right, and the fact that people do not have access to it it's terrible. So we do have a plethora of ways to reach our audience. The biggest way will probably be through flyers. So the flyers will have our hotline at the bottom. And if someone wants to schedule an appointment, they can. However, if they cannot, the flyer will also say that, like, for example, we will be in Hunting Park on Sunday from 10 to 5. And you can come if you need to. We'll also have we will also have different types of social media and a website. We also plan on partnering with soup kitchens and churches. So this is a very expensive project. We would need about $115 million a year, which is a lot. However, we do have different ways that we plan on receiving the money that we need. So first, we plan on having a hybrid board, which is pretty much just a board of directors that consists of, therefore, educational purposes as well as financial purposes. We will also be selling merchandise, such as pens, for example, just because it'll also play into reaching our target audience. I'm pretty confident that if someone sees a pen with healthbound on it, they'll be like, well, what's healthbound? We will also have fundraisers. We plan on having 2 different types of fundraisers. So there will be more of a local fundraiser, like a fair, for example, as Ida said previously. We'll sell things, play games, etc. We'll also have a fundraiser for prospective donors, which would be more like a gala. We'll talk about our success so far, and talk about different things that we plan on doing in the future. So that is pretty much it. Does anyone have any questions?
Roger, can we ask questions?
Yes, absolutely. So you guys can use your thumbs up or write in the chat, but yes.
So if it's okay, I'll just go. So great presentation. Congratulations. Very wonderful idea. I'm really impressed though with everything, but in particular, you came up with a number, 115 million a year. So I know that we don't have time to go through that, but could you give us some idea of how you came to that figure? It obviously took a lot of thought. Just some big ticket items. I'm just curious.
Of course. So the first thing that I did was I definitely looked at the amount that a lot of hospitals pay for medical supplies throughout the year, which was a very big number. So it was about $569 million a year, I believe. And so as I was going through that list, there were certain things that we would not need, such as surgery equipment, and also the amount of medical supplies that they purchase at a time. We also would not need that much because we aren't running like a huge hospital. It was also just, I put in the money for the van because it's a mobilized, like it's a moving hospital, and so we would need like a van. So I put in money for the van, the annual gas prices for the year. Also, I did an estimate of the salaries, and things like that. So
Great, very good. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Very thoughtful.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. Now, maybe one more question for this group?
If I could be so bold as to chime in, I love it. Great job, all three of you, and your passion for this subject just pops right through the screen. I could only imagine in person how well you would go over in a pitch. I mean, I'm ready to pull my checkbook out. I want to commend you specifically about one thought. When you identified the two populations that you were looking to serve, the homeless population on the one hand is transient by nature, and so they're difficult to serve and to provide services for. And on the other hand, with the undocumented population, you're dealing with a group of folks who are reticent to disclose their documentation status, and so prospecting for potential recipients of your services is something that can be quite difficult. I want to commend you specifically for looking to partner with churches and soup kitchens and other organizations that are already serving that population, and then partnering with them to fill a different need. I think in the nonprofit space, looking to find those strategic alliances, it speaks to really a brilliant thought on your part. So thank you for what you offered.
Thank you. Wonderful job, ladies. So now we're going to go on to our second group of the day, and this is Second Chance, presented by Karime, London, and Melanie C. And I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can see their slides.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to view our presentation today. My name is London Edwards. I am 17 years old, and I'm a rising senior attending Science Leadership Academy at Center City.
Hi, my name is Melanie Vasquez. I am 19 years old. I recently graduated from Community Academy.
Hi, my name is Karime Font. I am 16 years old. I'm about to go to the 11th grade, and I go to the Arts Academy at Benjamin Rush, and we are Second Chance. Internationally, human trafficking is regarded as one of the most pressing matters of our time. In the US alone, 18,000 to 20,000 people are trafficked into the country each year, and that does not include those that go undetected. And of all of these cases, over half involve children, meaning that 1 in 4 victims of trafficking this year will be a child. Most trafficking victims are young people who have had their opportunities stripped away from them against their will. These people could have been anything they wanted. They could have been dancers, actors, painters, and musicians. The reason why we decided to do something related with human trafficking is because we wanted to raise awareness of the immensity of this international conflict. I was introduced to this issue after listening to Blake Lively's speech on child exploitation imagery and its connection to the trafficking industry. This encouraged me to educate myself on this heartbreaking topic, and our team would like to aid in the rehabilitation of its victims. Although the eradication of this industry has a long way to go, as a society, it is our duty to enlighten those who surround us and build up those who have suffered. This is why we thought of Second Chance.
Second Chance is a nonprofit rehabilitation art center for human trafficking victims. Our mission is to give trafficking victims a new chance at life by expressing themselves artistically, where they'd be able to use newfound skills and passion to jumpstart a career in the arts. Our vision is to achieve a world where victims of human trafficking can overcome adversities and situations that they face and manifest their ambitions in their pursuit for happiness. We hope that their journeys will inspire other victims to believe that it is never too late to achieve their aspirations.
Our company offers many different aspects of the arts. That includes dance, which goes into ballet, contemporary, and salsa, visual arts, which includes photography, fashion design, graphic design, visual arts, and pottery, music, which goes into instrument playing, composition, and vocals, theater, screenwriting, acting and directing, language arts, creative writing, and journalism. With these skills that we help our clients learn, they will build a resume and a portfolio so we can help them have an internship with another company we would be partnering with, so they could eventually make a career out of their passion.
The audience that we are trying to target is human trafficking victims in the United States. Next. The monetization plan, the income strategy would be to collect donations, apply for nonprofit business grants, hold like a gala, having an auction, art shows, trying to get donations. But like I feel like we all should have. We were planning on having someone who is willing to tell us their story on how they overcame their situation. Our income goal would be $100,000. The expenses would be $50,000. We would try to spend so $10 or $1,500 budget for supplies, machinery, $10,000 budget for space, $20,000 for staff salaries, $5,000 budget for savings and event planning. The profit will gain $50,000 every 6 months.
Plan to run Second Chance as a nonprofit organization. There are no owners, but we must have a board of directors. Our board will be a hybrid board, which means that all elected board members will monetarily contribute to the organization annually to keep it running, and they will contribute expertise-based knowledge. The second level of our managerial plan is our founders, which will be Karime, Melanie, and myself. As founders, we will oversee the company operations and work with board members to create the best experience and outcome for our clients. The final level of our plan is our counselors, which will be comprised of an array of artists, therapists, psychologists, and other mental health professionals. Our counselors will start off working with Second Chance as volunteers and become paid staff members based on seniority.
Great. Now's the time for question and answer. Thank you, ladies.
I can ask one if you don't mind. You mentioned some profits, where were they going to come from, or how are you going to get those revenues, those profits, those cash flows in? Any thoughts?
So we believe that we would like to have most of our profits come from the sales of different art pieces that our clients would make. So we plan to have fashion shows, art shows, art galas or auctions where the things our clients make can be sold for a price that would help them and also help the nonprofit organization.
Okay, good. So exhibitions, you could do shows and presentations, maybe sell some physical products, those kinds of things, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Good to have, even though you've designated this as a non-profit because of its mission, it is good to have some sources of revenue. Right? They think about Philadelphia Zoo, right? Philadelphia Zoo is a non-profit, but it has a store there that sells little stuffed animals and whatever, and that presents a source of revenue also, which is also useful. And it doesn't change the status of your organization from being a non-profit, so it still works that way. Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks. Maybe one more question for this group.
I had a quick a thought that came to mind, and I apologize if it was mentioned in a really amazing presentation. It's something that I think is really important that we focus on as well. One piece I'm thinking about is with human trafficking, there could be people that speak languages other than English. So there might be a language component to serving some of the victims.
Well, we actually did not mention that in the presentation, but when we looked for volunteers or counselors for our clients, we could look for them that they have a second language or third language, or that they have some sort of idea of how to communicate with our clients. At least for me, I can help with people who speak Spanish because I do speak Spanish, and we could just find people like that.
That's fantastic. Brilliant job. I'm very proud of. I'd love to be able to get out my checkbook right now as well and support this great idea.
That raised another question, actually. How do you reach out to the victims?
Well, there are many ways we could do this, but we could use social media. We could have billboards. We could speak on the news.
Okay.
We could television commercials. I don't know if my other team members have any other ideas, but at least that's what I have for now.
I definitely think that the avenues Karime mentioned are some of our best options as far as advertising and presentation goes, and recruiting and the recruitment of clients. So all the ideas that she mentioned, I 100% am behind.
Good.
This is great. Thank you so much, ladies. Wonderful presentation. And now I'm excited to present to you the Mamba Center. This is group number 3. And this is Bianca, Zoe, Cameron, Alexa, and Angel. And again, I will share my screen with you all.
Good afternoon. My name is Bianca Rodriguez. I am a rising 12th grader at the Sacred Heart Academy in Bryn Mawr, and I live in the Philly area.
I'm Alexa, and I live in Philadelphia, and I am a rising sophomore, and I go to Newman Grady.
My name is Zoe Bounds. I go to the Sacred Heart Academy in Bryn Mawr, and I'm a rising senior.
Hello, my name is Angel Brown. I am a rising 12th grader. I currently go to Carver Engineering and Science, and I plan on furthering my horizons in business and marketing.
Hi, my name is Cameron Graham. I'm a rising sophomore, and I attend Newman Grady.
So at the Mamba Center, it's basically founded on the problem, life of an athlete is expensive. And by that, we mean that everything that factors into being an athlete is costly. The equipment is very expensive. The training, the proper training that you need in order to go to a D1 college or be pro is expensive. And then not everyone knows about healthy habits to develop or have when being an athlete and being pressured into being the best you can be in all these competitions. And so we want to help guide Philly high school students that want to go pro that don't have resources like kids do out in private school or outside of the Philadelphia area.
Our mission here at the Mamba Center in Philadelphia is to help student athletes unlock their full potential by helping them develop the skills needed to become D1 athletes. We want to level the playing field for students' athletic pursuits before the game and after by providing training, mentorship, financial coaching, access to equipment, and other athletic needs. Availability to these opportunities will allow athletes to be the best that they can be.
Our expenses will be the building, marketing, and the cafe, which will total out to be $80,000. And we plan to have our income come from sponsors, fundraisers, donations, and grants, which will total $90,000. And our profit will be $10,000. And now to meet the directors.
As I said before, I'm Bianca, and I will be in charge of all the equipment that will be donated to the center. So I will contact different schools, former athletes. So if they have any equipment left over that they don't want to use anymore, they can donate it to students and athletes who need them. Because I know when I went to high school outside of Philadelphia, I was opened and exposed to new sports I never heard of, like lacrosse and tennis. I didn't know that I had to provide equipment for myself. But lucky for me, when I joined lacrosse, my brother's friend gave me her sticks for like, which were like $300, and I didn't have that money to spend on sticks. So that was beneficial for me. So I want to open that up to other students who need equipment.
I'm Alexa. My role is the director of health, and I advise the athletes of the best ways to stay healthy, which also includes giving them proper diets, how much they should exercise, and the health risks of taking drugs like steroids to help them stay in shape.
I'm Zoe, and I'm the director of training. I would help the athletes get into shape and help them with their sports. And since I play field hockey and lacrosse, I would teach those specific sports to the athletes that want to learn them. And we would also have other volunteers from the Philadelphia area to help the students with other sports.
Hello, I'm Angel again. I will be the director of Scouts and Colleges. My job as the director of the Scouts and Colleges is to reach out to different scouts and colleges, of course, for them to come to the community center and see these students, athletes work. By reaching out to these colleges, it gives students an opportunity to go D1, to go to a D1 school and to pursue their athletic career. Also, I will be there to help any students to get into their schools of their dreams by helping them with applications, scholarships, etc. Also, this is very important to me because I feel I had a brother. Well, I have a brother. His name is Eric, and he is a great basketball player. And I feel as though that he has never got the recognition that he deserves for it, maybe because of the funds or not being able to go to a private school or things in that sort. So I feel as though there are so many other kids out there who are great at what they do, and they don't get recognized for it. They don't have the funds to go to certain schools. They don't have the connection that other people will have. So having these scouts come to the center and seeing them play or do whatever they do, it gives them like a jump. Like that's a jump, an advancement. So I feel that that'd be very beneficial for a lot of students. Cameron, the director of marketing, will go next.
We might be having a technical glitch with her mic still, but would somebody like to read this for Cameron?
I will. So Cameron's job is to manage the marketing of the company, and her goal is to reach as many athletes as she can, because many don't have the opportunity to play and excel in the sport that they choose. So her job is to satisfy the athletes' needs and wants and encourage them to attend the Mamba Center through campaigns, fundraisers, sell merchandise, and basically reach out to the communities.
Now that you heard about the Mama Center and what we do and met the directors, are there any questions?
Could I ask a question? Great presentation, and I really want to commend you on the problem that you identified. You know, it's something that I think, you know, we really don't think about. So it was really very interesting problem recognition. I was impressed. And I'm just curious, where'd you get the name Mamba?
So a lot of our fellow peers and athletes were very inspired by Kobe Bryant, and it's all about the Mamba mentality. And so we wanted to name it after someone that everyone looked up to and strived to be like an important role model.
Thank you.
Any other questions for these ladies?
I see one.
Hi. Great job, all of you, on this, and it's a tremendous passion play, and it's something that I really want to commend you for taking up. You've identified a real need, that there's expensive equipment, there's expensive gym time or field time or what have you, in order to unlock an athlete's potential. There are some organizations in the greater Philly metro that I think you should take a look at in terms of being a strategic partner. Chief among them is, the old Sunny Hill League, which, has been a terrific conduit for young basketball players in the region to gain exposure. Sunny Hill is still with us, thank God. And he's a true treasure. I'm sure if you reached out to him, he would be more than happy to help you in your efforts.
Thank you.
Wonderful job, group. Thank you so much for that. And we are going to move on to our fourth group of the day, which is Happy Heads Healthcare. I'm sorry, Happy Heads Hair Care. There we go. And that is Naida, Kendall, and Kai.
Hi, my name is Kai Artis. I'm from Frederick, Maryland. I go to Frederick High School, and I am a rising junior when we go back to school in the fall.
Hi, my name is Kendall Artis. I am going to be a 10th grader this fall, and I go to Frederick High School in Frederick, Maryland.
Hello, my name is Neida Yahovic. I go to Second Gymnasium in Sarajevo in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It is a country in Southeastern Europe, and I will be a senior in the fall.
So again, my name is Kai. I'm here to explain our venture overview. So before we get started, I just want to kind of give you some background. So I'm obviously a person of color. I have very curly, very thick, different types of hair, and I especially know from experience that there aren't a lot of products for curly hair, and even if they are, they just kind of slap together. So I kind of wanted to create a brand. This is mainly for people of color, but it doesn't exclude anyone, so we can have products for straight hair as well. But we just kind of wanted to create good products for your hair, because we know that some products don't help, some are expensive, some just don't do what they need to do. So we really want to have a good brand, just so that we can support people of all different ethnicities. So as I said, for our problem, not enough people with hair types are recognized in our hair industry, and I think that's a huge problem because, our industry is huge, makeup, hair, skincare, and stuff. So I think there needs to be something for everyone. So it definitely needs to expand. Our target audience is anybody with hair. I mean, most people have hair on their head from the day that they're born to the day that they die. So you want to make sure that, you're taking care of it and that you're putting the best things in it for your hair and your body. So that's basically our mission. It's just to cater to everyone and make sure that every single person is represented with our company, and not only that they have hair products, but they're also good for it. So we plan on offering things, like shampoo, conditioner, mousses, creams, hair masks, stuff, just simple stuff like that. So you can have really good results. So the way we decided to plan this, so our profit, we are not a nonprofit organization. We would be a business. So we want to start with a loan of $100,000, depending on how we get that money. Naida will explain that later on. But we definitely want to have that money for packaging, to set up our online store, to, you know, just get the products and materials that we need to put this together. We hope in the first year to make all that money back, to make 200,000, just so that we can keep the company running. And again, we're gonna be an international business. So we're gonna have a online store, and then once we expand, we'll go into more retail stores. So that is it for the venture overview, and I'm gonna hand it over to Naida with our business plan.
Thank you. So my name is Naida, and I'm in charge for the business plan. So our company is a for-profit venture. We plan to fund our business through bank loans, personal savings, and or government grants when they are available. Since we need to reach out to a wide and diverse group, our marketing is based on social media and TV commercials. We also plan to give out free samples of our products to potential customers. We plan to sell our products through our online shop and to expand to stores such as Ulta and Walmart once we start making a steady profit. Our manufacturing costs will also be reduced by our decision to recycle packaging and by giving special discounts to customers who return the used bottles. We would aim for at least 5,000 sold bottles per month. 7% of it would go to marketing, since marketing is a staple in our business. 10% would go to manufacturing and maintenance. 65% would go to salaries, and around 18% would go to paying off debt when we have debt, or reinvesting the money back into the business. So now we're going to speak about our managerial plan.
Hi, I'm Kendall Artist, and I'm going to be speaking on the managerial plan. So for the CEOs, it will be Kendall A, Kai A, and Naida J. And for our team, we will need multiple chemical engineers to produce and make these products. We will also need a marketing team so that we can understand and see how to have the best products and to see how to put our products in the market. We will also need a production plant organizer because we will need someone to oversee our products. We're going to need a packaging faculty team to ship and handle the products, and they'll be working alongside of the factory and production team. And we will also need an IT specialist to run the online store and the sales. And for right now, we are going to have an online store only, but after we start making profits, we will go into other stores like Target or Ulta. And that's it for the Happy Heads presentation. And do you have any questions?
I have one. Did you think of a particular theme, a particular type of product? One that occurred to me would be a natural hair care range using natural ingredients. Do you think of something like that? Not necessarily that, but a particular.
Yeah, that's definitely our goal, because I know for me especially, coconut oil, things like coconut oil are really, really great for natural hair. Even people that aren't of color, you know, coconut oil is a great natural ingredient for your hair. It's a great moisturizer. So even incorporating natural ingredients like that in our products, it would just help people's hair. But we do want to be as natural as possible, because you don't want to have lots of chemicals in your hair. That's what makes it break off. So we do definitely want to make sure everything's natural and is safe for your hair. That's why we want to bring in chemical engineers. So they're experienced and they're, you know, experts on that. So they could put something together that's really good.
I have to commend you and actually all the others. You spent a lot of time thinking deeply about the financials for your businesses, which is actually an area where many people don't think too deeply. They think about the product and they think about the team, but all of you have thought hard about how you're going to fund the businesses and how you're going to make some money and what the cost base is. So well done. Very impressive.
Thank you. I think that's the area where many businesses fail to prosper. And since I'm a student who is actually interested in business and finance, this was a particularly interesting part to work on, and it's been really a pleasure to just plan out a fictional business, which might not be fictional in the future at all.
Good. We hope so.
Yeah. I love it.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, of course.
So congratulations, great presentation, great idea. I had one thought. This is a huge market and very different people have very different needs about their hair. So maybe before starting to make a plan on producing the product, a good market research could be very helpful for you, a consumer research, to see what people really demand for their hair, and then maybe start from there to recruit your chemical engineers to produce the right products that are really in demand in the market. Thank you.
Thank you for the advice. We were actually thinking on doing our independent research by our chemical engineers and then deciding what works the best for our customers and what the best product would be like.
Thank you. This is wonderful. And last but not least, we are going to close out the day with Diversity Education Organization. And the name is still to be determined, depends on who the donor is. So they're looking for a founding donor for this organization. So if anybody wants to be that person and have their name on their organization, this might be the one for you. Okay, so this group is Ella, Lily, Melanie, and Kaylin. And I'm just going to pull up their slides and share my screen one more time with you.
Good afternoon. My name is Kaylin, and I am an incoming freshman at Lincoln University.
Hi, my name is Lily. I'm a rising junior at Science Leadership Academy.
Hi, my name is Melanie. I am a rising junior at Schooling Charter School.
Hi, my name is Ella Magliente, and I am a rising sophomore at Gwen and Mercy Academy High School. So our theme was diversity and inclusion, and in our company, we're striving to give children and future educators the knowledge and skills they need to thrive in the world. One of our main goals is to help diverse students with financial needs that are interested in majoring in education. To help them, we will be assisting payment in their tuition and giving them experience in the teaching world. Our other main goal is to provide a space for young kids to relax, have fun, and learn. Both of our programs will be diverse, so we are able to give all of our students, no matter their race, a unique experience. So the background of our venture. We decided to create this program because in our experience, we have taken note of a lack of diversity regarding the teaching staff at the school. In my personal experience, I've been to 6 schools and preschools, private Catholic and public, and I've never had a Black teacher. And I find this to be a huge issue. So I wanted to help change this issue by helping people of color pursue their degree in education so they can be the role model and positive influence that so many kids today don't have. Next, Melanie is going to share some of her experience.
Yes. We also did this organization because when I was in elementary school and stuff like that, I was born in Philadelphia, but I was raised in Bensalem. And I have a lot of family that lived in Philadelphia, and my own sibling went to school in Philadelphia. And when I was in 4th grade in a suburban elementary school, my older brother was just learning what I was learning in 4th grade when he was in middle school in 7th grade. And, I find that's a big issue, especially for young children in low income areas, because, they're not able to be supplied with the same type of educational needs that other younger students may be in different areas. and we wanted to do this so we would be able to help the less fortunate or students and teachers in lower income areas to show that there's never never give up. There's never no way to do anything. You should always, there's always a choice, and everyone always has a way to make the world better. And Ella is going to move on to talk about our name and why we're choosing to go this way.
So our current name is the Blank Nonprofit Education Organization, and we imagined in the future that blank could be taken up with a donor who supports the cause the most. So it could be someone's name nonprofit education organization. Next, we have Lily presenting our vision and mission statements.
Our vision for our Future Educators program is to make sure there are a diverse teaching staff in all schools in Philadelphia. Our vision for our Young Minds program is to give them a unique education and experience from diverse teachers. Next slide. Our mission for our Future Educators program is to be able to provide scholarship money for kids in low-income families that want to major in education in college and be able to give them experience in teaching. Our mission for our Young Minds program is to be able to give up space where kids from kindergarten to 6th grade are able to relax and be exposed to different backgrounds and teachers. Now we have Kaylin with target audience.
I was still on mute, sorry. The target audience would be K to 6th graders. This after school program will help them with homework, do activities, and be a safe space to go to after school. These kids would be from lower income neighborhoods. The scholarship would be focused on 4 to 6 students per year that of color. They would be interested in going to college and majoring in education, but need extra help funding. Next slide. Thank you. The income of our nonprofit business would be annual fundraising. Our set goal would be $30,000 to $50,000, with also donations of at least $200,000 a year. The school donation would be $22,500, and we will split it in half between our program and the school. So yearly, we will be getting $11,250. The scholarship would be for 4 to 6 people, and it would be between $7,000 and $9,000 a year. And our supplies will cost $250. The total income that the total amount of money that we would have left over would be $2,007,938. The next person that will be speaking is Melanie.
Melanie, I think you're on mute.
Okay, I'm sorry. The managerial structure is going to be the people on the directory board, since we are a nonprofit. So we are going to have a directory board managers, and the workers are going to be our volunteers, and they would be placed in the categories as shown, depending on the type of program they signed up for throughout the organization. As for our future educators, the future college students and teaching majors, it would be diverse teachers looking for recognition in their work section. And as for the volunteers, they would be high school seniors looking for internships that want to go into the teaching major within colleges. As for Young Minds, they would be elementary school students in lower income areas, and our program would be kind of like an aftercare thing that the students would be able to go to if they needed any additional educational assistance or anything like that. But we have to remember, and we spoke about this a lot throughout this whole process in my group, that we are helping younger students, elementary school students. And, you know, since we're going to be an after school program or even a summer program, you know, having a little kid isn't going to want to, no child is going to want to sit there and just, you know, want to just listen to more educational things. So we wanted to broaden the idea, and we wanted to make sure that it can be somewhere where the children could have a safe place to just be themselves and still have fun and get the educational assistance and experiences that they would need in order to just get into their next grade or anything like that. Next slide, please. As for the directory boards, there are going to be 3. Within the financial board, the manager is going to be Lily, and the financial board is going to take care of the money and the finances.
Melanie, you might be muted again.
Okay, so her laptop just died. Um,
I can finish out the slide.
yeah.
Okay, so the education manager would be Kaylin, and that's going to handle the schools, the fundraising, events, etc. The hybrid manager is going to review financial and educational boards' ideas. It's going to be more creative, and that's going to be Melanie. And then the executive director has the final say in any decisions made, and it's combining the 2 ideas, and that is going to be me. Does anyone have any questions?
So I have a question. Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, I am I'm also staff and a colleague of Rogers in the School of Entrepreneurship, and I also happen to teach in the School of Education, pre-service teachers. So quick question for you, and I would encourage all of you to look at the Center for Black Educators, Sharif El-Mekki's work. If you are not already familiar, become familiar. He is a fabulous partner and colleague in Philadelphia, looking to both increase high school student interest in teaching and also in education majors, of which you are correct, hugely disproportionate to the population as far as Black and Brown educators. In my experience, teaching 10 years in the School of Ed at Drexel, I have that same experience. My question for you is the model that the K-6 students that you're going to motivate those students to become interested in the class, in classroom teaching? Tell me a little bit about how that looks in your minds now. And I'm also trying to help think about naming if you're and I'll mute, but it's a question for any of you. Fabulous idea.
Thank you for your question. So we decided on K-6 mainly because we thought that was when children are most heavily influenced by the people around them. That's when they really need those role models. And we wanted to provide them with the role models that look like them, so they're opened up to that. Kaylin, do you want to elaborate?
So oh, okay, you guys can hear me. Okay, last time I was mute. Okay, so basically we picked these ages because what Ella said, they're the easiest to influence. And I felt like when I was going through these ages, I was having a really hard time of basically understanding and needing help and not having anyone to really turn to. So these volunteers would be people that would be able to help them and for them to have someone to turn to. Mainly the students in like 12th grade, they would basically be the only people focusing on that majoring in education. And then if the students were like really interested in doing that, then we would start like something for them to help. Yeah.
So our idea was for the older students going into education. It would be juniors and seniors who might be interested in pursuing a degree in education. And then we can help them gain experience in that and see if they like it by going to these programs and helping these kids that are K-6. And after they've experienced a certain number of hours of volunteering, we can help them go further with a scholarship into university.
And I'll say this, that piece is often missing. For the high school students to have classroom experience either as a TA is very, as you know, he sounds like, yeah, it's uncommon. It's a great, yeah.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions or comments?
I just want to apologize to everyone. Had some technical difficulties with Wi-Fi and everything.
No worries. Welcome back. Any more questions for this group? Wonderful.
I have an overall comment just listening to these wonderful presentations. We had nonprofits spanning the arts, education, sports, and healthcare, right? And a for-profit. All of these areas in the nonprofit space that were so well done today all have opportunities for revenue generation. And what I'd like to encourage you ladies to do is to look at a nonprofit in a different way. So a nonprofit has a mission, and there's some fabulous missions articulated today, but think also about opportunities to generate revenue. Okay, just because it's a nonprofit doesn't mean it doesn't have to make any money. You know, if you can get Kobe Bryant's sneakers and sell them to somebody, that's a revenue generating possibility. You see what I mean? So lots of fabulous ideas in the nonprofit space, very clear missions, but think also about how you can generate revenues alongside those nonprofit missions. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you for that, Dr. Z. Yeah, we were talking about how they're actually more expensive to run sometimes, even in businesses.
Correct.
So you need to generate a profit for sure. This is wonderful. So I want to take this time to just open up the floor again. It can be questions, comments, thoughts for any of the students.
Yes, I see that.
So Roger, maybe you mind if I say something?
Yes.
So yeah, so ladies, thank you for letting me crash on Wednesday, first of all, so I can hear my daughter speak. So it never gets old as a father, I have to tell you. Just, you know, and just thank you for inspiring me, you know, and everything you've done. Maybe I can just take 2 minutes and just tell you why we did this. Maybe it's obvious, but the dean, we have an inspirational dean with Dean Donna, and we work together, and we were just talking about, you know, with such an inspirational dean, you know, we see something in colleges that bothered us. You know, we see a pretty big drop off from the energy you have now to when you go into school, to colleges, that women drop out as entrepreneurs. And they, you know, we don't understand that. You know, Don and I don't. It bothers us, and so we said, what if we can start a little early? Maybe like sort of like the last group did, talked about with education. What if we can jump in a little earlier and say, what can we inspire young women maybe in high school to stick with it? You know, so that's why we're here. So if you asked us the problem we were trying to solve, is that falling off of something that goes on in a young woman's mind that says, I can't do it anymore. And that bothers us. So, and then when in the workplace, I'm an entrepreneur, in the startup world and in pharmaceuticals, and the dropout rate goes down even faster, unfortunately. So we're trying to inspire another generation to do better than we did. So, that's the problem Don and I were trying to solve. So, hearing you talk, I think we're in the right direction, Donna. So, thank you. So we didn't do as good a job explaining the problem we were trying to solve, but we're trying to solve that curve that, young women lose that energy or that inspiration or that sometimes that little voice in themselves, so we want to fix that voice. So keep that voice alive, and thank you for letting me listen. So you were all great. And, I agree with all the comments and advice people have given you. These are all really wonderful ideas, and they're real. You solve real needs, and there's a lot of possibilities. So if you don't, continue to work on these, work on something new, and hopefully you made some new friends along the way from great distances in some cases. So thank you. Thanks, Roger.
Thank you.
If I can jump in, thank you, Al, for the comments. And yes, it is very disappointing that we don't see enough females taking entrepreneurship as a major, starting their companies. And so hearing all of you today, there's so much vision, so much power, so much passion that all of you exhibited, that you could really do something and make a difference. I'm sure that my colleagues here, we hear a lot of presentations from college students, and all of you, all these presentations were so thoughtful. You were so articulate. You were so mature, creative. And you only had 1 week to do this. I mean, that's so impressive. So I would echo Al's comments and encourage you to keep on this path, and to show people that we can do it as women, especially at the close school. So my thanks to all of you. Thank you. And thanks to Roger. He is just an amazing instructor, a wonderful colleague, and very passionate about many things himself. So thank you, Roger. You, as always, outstanding.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to jump in too and say this is incredible, ladies. You all know where we started Monday, and it was really different than today. And I think what you did in the course of 4 to 5 days is really unheard of. I haven't even seen this ever. So congratulations to all of you. You should feel proud. And we talked about this camp being a confidence booster above all. I told you I wanted you to learn, I wanted you to have fun, but I wanted you to believe in yourselves. It was really important for me. And I think that I saw all of you open up more every day. There were people who would never ever show their screens, people who would never talk. And then, by Wednesday or Thursday, they would start asking questions of our guest speakers, and they would email me a question and say, oh, I researched this, what do you think about that? So, I've seen the progression all week, and I couldn't be more proud of you all. So congratulations to you.
Yeah, I also was very impressed. I guess a lot of you did not know each other, so you were sort of thrown together in a team, and in 1 week, identified critical problems, very creative, did great presentations. So that's really very cool. And I would encourage you. You have a connection now to Drexel and to the close school, to Roger and to many of us. So if you, on your journeys, want to reach out, please feel free. We're here for you. Thank you.
I've got a question for all of the ladies, all the entrepreneurs. What did you learn from this very accelerated entrepreneurial experience? What did you learn?
To always have confidence. You need to, in order to do something, you need to have a lot of confidence in yourself. You have to push yourself no matter the situation that you go through.
Very good. Very good. Anyone else?
I learned to basically be open to new ideas, and sometimes it's always you don't always have to be like right and feel like what you're saying is right 24/7 and be in control of everything.
Good.
I think in my group, I learned a lot about compromising and blending ideas together.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, when you're always gonna run into issues along the way. Like for example, just now, the thing just went down when I was in the middle of speaking, but you can't let that bring you down. You just have to get back up and just continue to just go the way you were going. You can never just let one small thing hold you back based off of how bad it might make you feel.
Good point. Good point.
I learned to be confident in not only your business idea, but in within yourself. Because if you're not confident with yourself, how do you expect to be confident in front of others? And your confidence can carry you and also an audience. Like if you weren't confident presenting your idea to someone, then how do you expect them to like be behind you, support you?
Absolutely.
I've learned that you have to be speak your mind to be successful.
You have to be, sorry, I just missed that. I wanted to hear it.
You have to speak your mind to be
Speak your
successful.
mind. Yep.
More on the confidence portion, I also learned that like confidence comes from within. Like you can't expect for other people to give you confidence. You have to find it yourself and then project it.
Well, you've all found it and projected it. So wonderful.
I learned that oh sorry Nadia, but I learned that not everybody is perfect, not every business is perfect, but if you put the hard work and compassion and just all the energy that you have for it, then you did the best that you can, and you can't expect perfection from everything. You did the best that you can.
Good, good. No business is perfect. You make it perfect.
I learned that I don't have to do anything, that I don't have to work alone, and that I don't have to do all the work for everyone in the group. I also learned how great it is to have good teammates who are confident and knowledgeable, and that we can than I could do alone.
Good, impressive. But that's a lot of learning in a short space of time.
Yeah, this camp feels like the accelerator. It's such a quick, rapid pace, and this year was even shorter because we were on Zoom. So they only had 3 hours a day, but it was brilliant what they could do in this short amount of time.
I would add, Roger, for those the group who's working in education and future teachers, carry that message forward. Those learnings that you just shared, which are fantastic, think about that next generation of students like yourselves and learning that early.
Thank you. I really hope to, because I want to be a teacher when I grow up, and I'm already volunteering with working with students. Well, I was before COVID, but I was working with tutoring students in an elementary school, and that's what I want to go into. So,
if I could offer a special point of praise for Nadia, Kendall, and Kai for being iconoclasts, for thinking differently and going with a for-profit model. Profit is not a four-letter word, as I like to say, and it's important that if you're going to be a great entrepreneur, you're not going to do it by going along with the crowd. You're going to have to be comfortable being uncomfortable and be comfortable doing things differently, because that's how we arrive at doing them better. So to the three of you, I mean, not only did you do a fantastic job, but having the guts and the gumption to stand on your 2 feet and say, we're going to go and try and make some money.
Thank you for the kind words.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey, everybody. I'm Roger's colleague, and I work with Dean DeCarolis and Dr. Z and Oslam and a bunch of other folks on this Zoom. And I, just like everybody else is saying, just congratulations. What an absolutely amazing job that you did. So impressed. You know, some of us work internationally as well and work with startups in an international setting, and you hit it right on. I'm almost speechless, and I want to thank you for this experience. You know, we're all home, and we need good moments, and this is a good moment. So thank you. Thank you to Roger, and of course, thank you to the guest speakers. I know that their stories and what they helped you and inspire you to do was absolutely amazing. I'm hearing amazing stories of this week with what you've experienced, and I just want to say thank you.
If I could just add to Troy's comment about for-profit businesses, you know, just because it's a for-profit doesn't mean that it's not doing something good, right? So, you know, if you think of pharmaceutical companies, for example, they're saving lives, right? You know, actually, even the hair product, you know, think of the difference that you're making in somebody's life by giving them confidence, by, you know, by changing how they feel. So, you know, it's sort of a false impression to think that just because a company is making money does not mean they're doing something good. And also many companies are very socially responsible, and they're philanthropic, and they're giving back either as a company or their boards. So, you know, I would encourage you, you know, to keep your minds open, even with the business models that you have. You know, you may pivot to a for-profit, who knows? So thank you, Troy, for that comment. That was great.
I just want to say, you know, it's good to hear and see all the ideas, but more importantly, it's good to see the hearts behind them. Like, so it gives us a lot of confidence to know that, you know, you guys and the next generation have these things on your minds, and that we're going to be in a good place. So I just want to say congratulations and great job to you all.
Well, thank you, Christopher. I totally agree too. And just to piggyback off of that, you know, when you look around the room right now, it's so diverse. You know, in a time like this, I think it's just so powerful to see that. So again, you know, just thank everybody that was involved with creating this camp and this opportunity in the safe space. And, you know, to the parents for entrusting us with your kids for a week and on Zoom, you know, you got in your clearance forms and all that. So HR thanks you, I thank you. But this is beautiful to see. You know, we're not really seeing this across the country right now, but to see this here in the educational context is really, really good.
I would say thank you. And is there a way we can find your contact information or emails if we want to reach out to you further?
Sure.
Sure. Just go to the Close School website, Bianca, and they're all on there. Roger, Antonis, they're on there, right?
Yes.
Absolutely, Dean DeCarolis. That's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
Phone numbers and emails are up there and posted for everybody.
Yeah, email's probably better.
I just posted my email in the chat as well for anyone that's interested.
Thank you. This is wonderful. So, you know, I don't want to end it. We could go on forever, but I want to respect your time. But again, a special thank you to everybody, and the biggest thank you to our students. You guys are incredible. And we salute you. I hope everybody has a great, safe, and happy summer. And again, thank you all so much. Don't be a stranger. Stay involved with us at the Close School. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys, stay in touch.
Bye, guys.
Bye.